Very good decision.
And now we're here for the final showdown, and what a match it should be. I don't think anyone is confidently predicting the outcome of a match between two players brimful of talent. Stefan Edberg, seeded 1 here, the Wimbledon champion, twice winner of the Australian Open. Best he's done is the quarter-final of the French in '85, and this is how he's got to the final. The best tennis he's played on clay in that semi-final against Jose Luis Clerc. 6-3, 6-4. It was wonderful stuff.
Yes, he played a superb clay court match. He served and volleyed well, which he always does, but he used his ground shots very well indeed, and I'm sure Stefan is very confident now after playing so well in the semi-final.
And the number 2 seed, Agassi, 19 years old, a couple of weeks ago, ranked 5 in the world, was 3. He's lost his way a little bit at the beginning of this year, but has shown signs here in Ada that he's coming back to his best form, and he played extraordinarily well, both in the quarter-final patches there against Rostagno and throughout his semi-final against Andres Gomez.
Yes, I think he had a hard thing to live up to after last year, rocketing up to number 3, changed rackets, but he's getting used to his new racket, and now he's on his the favourite clay court of his, the red clay, not the grey clay of America, and I think he's really looking forward to this tournament in preparation for the French. This could be, I'm sure, an absolute cracker of a match.
And the man looking after it, Lucien Zadela from Holland. The crowd still arriving. 6,000 tickets all sold out weeks ago. The weather fine. It looks set fair. Had rain in the last couple of days, but hopefully it's holding off, and this really should be some match between two players who've got talent to spare. Sit back and enjoy it now. Agassi against Edberg for the final of the Audi tournament. Agassi to start us off. Edberg wearing tracksuit bottoms, as he did in his semi-final against Jose Luis Clerc. There's suggestions of a groin strain.
Yes, he strained it early in the week, but I'm sure it's only just a precaution, this tracksuit.
Yes, Agassi looks very controlled today. Been a lot of histrionics throughout his way through to the final, but I'm sure he's going to give Edberg the respect he deserves.
Yes, he can't play as he has in the other matches. Edberg is obviously a much better player, and already Agassi not attacking his ground shots with the power he has in the previous matches. He's feeling his way, pushing the ball of court, waiting for the opening.
So Agassi wins his opening service game to love.
First game, first set.
Agassi, who's really been in superb form throughout the week, but he's treated most of the matches as exhibitions. His rapport with the crowd has been greater than his rapport with his opponent, who sometimes he's treated with disdain, but not today against Edberg. I suspect he regards this as a competitive match, and he wants to compete at the highest level with one of the top players.
Yes, this match means something to both players, because they could well meet in the big tournaments coming up, especially the French, and the psychological advantage of a win, even if it is in an exhibition tournament, is very important to these players, and they'll both be trying full out. And I was very impressed with the first game Agassi played there. He hit the ball much softer than he had done in the previous matches, but was already moving the ball around the court, making Edberg run around a lot. And I think the whole key to this, if Edberg is going to win, he's going to have to serve and volley superbly well.
Crowd still arriving, filling up the few empty seats. They're really in for a treat. Edberg, love one down. Some pass. Edberg, as he has throughout the week, making his way to the net.
A little bit short though. And Agassi, double-handed backhand, no problem on that pass. He's lightning fast, Agassi. He doesn't look like an athlete, but my word, he doesn't half move quickly.
Edberg just feeling his leg a little there.
Yes, he did check on that serve and did feel the groin afterwards.
Terrific shot from Agassi. He had no hope there.
15-40.
Good forehand of Agassi here, but really Edberg shouldn't have missed that. A little bit further back than normal.
2 break points. Patience paid off there.
30-40.
Agassi really looks in control though, although Edberg wins the shot with the passing, winning forehand. Agassi really does look in control of all the rallies, making Edberg do all the running at the moment. Again, that superb slice backhand from Edberg. Such control on that, keeps it low.
Psychologically an important rally that for Agassi.
Advantage, Agassi.
Looks like Agassi really from the baseline is the better player. Edberg's doing all the moving around. I think he's got to come to the net when he gets the short ball. But Agassi at the moment pinning him back. Good serve.
Third break point saved. So often in his career, the serve at break point down has saved him.
Oh, first football of the week, I believe, on Edberg.
Unlucky. Again, Agassi showing he's not afraid to come up.
No, he really is controlling the rallies. Here we get the lucky one. Agassi punishes it. Edberg a little unlucky. That was going for a clean winner, just flipped the top of the net and went out. Great footwork then from Agassi.
Break point again.
Another good serve.
He really is serving so well when it really matters. Again, Agassi doing the bullying.
As soon as Edberg drops it short, Agassi onto it like a flash and just whops that forehand to the corner. Tremendous forehand.
Now, second serve and break point.
Game, Agassi.
And again, he out-rallies Edberg.
2 games to love. Agassi leads first set.
And Edberg knows now he's got a really tough task ahead of him. Seeing Agassi play like this, it's quite amazing. He's not won a tournament so far this year. Won 6, remember, last year.
Yes, this is the first red clay court tournament. And he really is already in this final, showing that he can rally all day long.
15 love.
Hardly made an error.
That's come at some of the showboating we've seen earlier on, but he doesn't want to do too many shots like that against Edberg. He hasn't got that much of a margin to play with.
Edberg
already making many more mistakes than yesterday. I think he's worried about dropping them short. Agassi's forehand when they drop short, it's quite tremendous.
Spectacular stuff from the American. Wasn't a brilliant drop shot, but not the worst. Look at this.
Look how he whips it up from below the level of the net. Incredible hands. That's his ability to whip the ball with topspin from both sides.
Game, Agassi.
First 3 games going to the number 2 seed, very much in the driving seat at the moment. Andre Agassi leads Stefan Edberg. 3 games. Around 100,000 inhabitants. A quiet little town. Not a lot happens here, but certainly is this week. The world's best tennis players are on view, and the best of them out there now on the centre court. Stefan Edberg in the final of the Audi tournament, love 3 down against Andre Agassi.
15 love.
See the good first serve of Edberg there. He needs to get a lot in because at the moment Agassi's controlling all the rallies.
Just now, but it was a good shot.
Agassi today is prepared to rally, and he's just lost the little plastic tries there. What that is supposed to do is to sort of nullify the hit if you're slightly off centre, to nullify the tension going down the racket, which can give you tennis elbow. These graphite rackets, there's no give. Play from Edberg, but he's still a little too negative. He brings this with the angles, lovely angle there, caught in mid-court there, but just gets away with that half-volley angle.
Game Edberg.
And Agassi is still in the ascendancy, but he's got to stop playing shots like that, otherwise it's going to give Edberg confidence that the American's going to lose his concentration. Those shots Agassi's been showing us throughout the week, but he cannot play too many of them against Edberg.
15 love.
Played Agassi. Again, Edberg paying the penalty in that rally for not keeping the ball deep enough. Agassi quite willing to come in on his ground shots. When they get to the net, his ground shots are so good, he tends to get an easy put away. Edberg forced that one a little bit. He's still serving from this very wide position, making sure that the returner serve doesn't get on his backhand.
Now against Clerc, Edberg was using a lot of slice on the backhand. He's not doing that so much here.
Yes, I think at the moment he's a little bit bewildered to know what to do. Agassi really does attack those short balls, and Edberg is finding the depth very difficult today. He's not keeping the ball deep enough, and he's on the run. Just wide.
40.
I wouldn't have believed that Agassi would have been at the net more times than Edberg, and so far that's the case.
It's the man who won't play Wimbledon, Agassi.
Great length.
This really dominant play. Edberg showing his anxiety,
Game
but now
Agassi.
trailing 4-1.
4 games to 1. Agassi leads first set.
Andre Agassi, who used to be a bit of a tearaway until a couple of years ago. Throughout his teens was renowned for being a bit of a prankster and for not taking discipline too well. But, he's a born-again Christian, which has changed his lifestyle a certain amount, and also his coach Nick Bollettieri, who trained him in Florida, has had something to do with that, and he's now very much a reformed character. And, tries whenever he can to be nice to people, and sometimes that upsets his opponents, who feels that he's belittling them with his rapport with the crowd. But the opponents have a wide divergence of views on him, but not the spectators. Most of them like him a lot.
Well, the way he plays, you've got to enjoy watching him. He plays so many ridiculous shots and gets away with a lot of them as well. But today, much more under control. He respects Edberg. He knows this is a tough match, and he's hardly missing the ground shot. Playing very well at the moment, and Edberg can't get into the rallies. Good serve from Edberg again. That kicking serve, bounding off the court. Taking it wide. Just watch the bound off this court, bounces into the corner and spins away from the backhand side.
An amazing backspin on it. And, Edberg seemed to sort of lunge into there and held his groin, but it was a phenomenal shot.
A lot of backspin and side spin on that ball. Edberg didn't quite read it. Edberg's got a rest next week, so if he has got a slight groin, I'm sure they'll get it fit for Paris.
Oh. 15-30.
Double fault. Much better stuff from Edberg.
30 all.
Again, though, he's not really as punishing on the volleys he was yesterday. The volleys are not going into the corners, not so confident. The dipping topspin of Agassi's making it so much harder to volley for Edberg. Great serve.
Agassi thinks it was the wrong side of the centre line.
No, right on the tape.
40-30.
Here it is.
Outside edge.
That's good enough. Played that very well indeed. And his last two service games will have given him confidence. He still trails though by the break.
I think I'm sure it's going on in his mind that he's going to have to attack a little bit more.
Love 15. 15. 15 all.
Fine serve. Looking really wide out and a good shot of that.
Tremendous angle he gets from that serve. He stands so wide and he hits the kicker and moves it way beyond the tram lines. Just from this rally, you can notice the different depth of the players. Agassi pounding the ball back deep. He's in. Oh, great passing shot now.
He's favouring the forehand side so much, he's giving himself a lot to do.
He had a lot of ground to cover. Here's the attacking shot. Comes in. Edberg, though, one of the best forehands he's made so far. Oh,
Almost out of nowhere, wasn't it?
does well here because Edberg slices it. Not quite as enough power in it, but look at this backhand. Unleashes it down the line. Edberg's been a little gentle in the rallies. He's not really getting the ball away from Agassi.
That's quite extraordinary. It just wasn't happening against Clerk. There's no obvious reason why he's making those mistakes on the backhand.
He's making too many errors.
I think he might have injured himself. He grazed his hand on the box as he went flying there. Really fine rally. Great shot this from Edberg. Look at the speed of Agassi as he moves across.
He just tripped on the line. I think the line probably a little bit proud of the clay, and he tripped on the line and really went tumbling.
He just grazed his hand there. All as well. But the tumble shouldn't detract from what was a really spectacular rally. And wonderful shots from Edberg. The stretch on the volley was phenomenal.
Yes, Edberg there brought into the net by the drop shot. And once he got there, he handled the point very well indeed. Kept down on the backhand volley.
He's just taking his time, throwing a few balls back, just having a good look just to gain time. Deuce.
It's back to the middle for his second serve. Oh yeah, lovely backhand passing shot.
Under the severest pressure, Edberg is deciding to really give it the full whack this time.
Edberg at last starting to attack. Good forehand, lovely volley. Agassi's so quick. Terrific passing shot.
And that was a ridiculous shot. But Edberg just beginning to get into full flow now.
It is actually very hard to work out what you can do with that serve wide to the backhand because you are so far out of court. basically impossible to get onto Agassi's backhand.
Agassi showboating, and he pays the price.
Yes, just watch this forehand he hits here in this rally. Point before the last. Edberg there, that's the one.
Break point.
Game Edberg.
Double faults. So Edberg, after being very much on the receiving end, now just trails by 1 game, and they're level on breaks.
Imagine the power.
You're watching Eurosport. Agassi 4-3 up against Stefan Edberg in the final of the Audi tournament. And during the change round, you can see Agassi just holding his wrist after that fall. But Edberg here serving 3-4 down. And I get the feeling that Agassi has this set for the taking. If only he can knuckle down and concentrate on the task. Maybe it's his wrist that's bothering him, but he seems so much in the ascendancy, and now he's got to work hard again.
Love 30.
He really is a wonderful player.
Superb return, that low dipping return, setting up the next shot. Didn't panic, he didn't try and pass on the first one, which was too hard for him to do.
Love 40.
Called in. Thought it might have drifted out on the side, but not so. So here, Edberg under pressure again. 3 break points for Agassi. Right on the line. Bold shot from the Wimbledon champion.
15-40.
This lovely topspin backhand here. Swept across court, outside edge of the line.
Still 2 break points for the American.
First serve.
Rallying much better then. He needs a few more of those, and there he's still worried about his hand.
Yes, obviously for most people it wouldn't matter it being your left hand, but that double-handed backhand of Agassi Obviously, it's just hurting his wrist when he turns it over to get the topspin.
Well, he was always going to go for the spectacular shot.
Good play from Edberg there, right out of position. The only shot he had to get back into that rally was the skyscraping lob, and he hit it pretty deep. It allowed him to get back into the middle of the court. Made it a tough shot for Agassi. Again, went for a winner where perhaps he should have blocked it back into the corner.
So 3 break points saved.
Great volley. That's the first time that he's actually won a point on the volley outright. Yeah, Agassi's asking for the trainer. Obviously his wrist is very much sorer than we thought.
Game.
Agassi wasn't ready for that. But Lucien Zandela seemed to think he was. Not sure that Edberg really understood what was going on, but good sportsman that he is, he's carrying on. Agassi's a law unto himself. Edberg is taking this match pretty seriously.
Oh, good play from Edberg. Much better forehand there. He seized the opportunity at the open court and hit it very hard into the corner.
Agassi still waiting for the trainer, who's now arrived, but I think they'll wait till the change round for the attention. There's Nick Bollettieri on the right with the sunglasses, trainer of Agassi.
He's officially allowed 3 minutes at the change round for an injury. That depends if you're playing the Grand Prix rules, and this being an exhibition tournament, and Agassi, a superb player, maybe they bend the rules a little bit.
Last 15.
And the patience, which was so evident early on, has now gone completely. And there's a different Agassi you're seeing now. And he's rushing things.
Great play from Edberg again. Suddenly the rallies have been dominated by Edberg, whereas in the first 3 quarters of this set, there's only one player in it. Oh yes, favourite backhand down the line. He doesn't miss those.
And the shots that were going into the net are now beginning to rifle past Agassi.
A little bit unlucky here, Agassi. Hits the top of the net, slows it down, but look at the shoulder bend. Woof, straight down the line. Oh.
And a really wonderful game from Edberg. And Edberg now leads by 5 games to 4. And when he comes out, he'll be serving for the first set. Here's Edberg serving for this first set.
Yeah, he can't hit the double hander. He actually hit a one-handed backhand there. When you are taped on your hand or your ankle, if it's too tight, in fact he's taking it off, it means he can't bend his hand, and it's all coming off.
Wilt u stil zijn alsjeblieft? Dames en heren, wilt u stil zijn alsjeblieft? Dank u wel.
Another one-handed backhand.
So difficult to tell how much it is hurting.
Edberg, though, I think too good a player, been around too long to be put off by it. He's just going to keep playing his game, and if Agassi is injured, then he's going to beat him. Otherwise, Agassi's going to have to come out and play really well now.
And Edberg showing the greater patience. Agassi maybe choosing the wrong ball to come in on, but after 43 minutes of sometimes spectacular, certainly dramatic tennis, 2 set points for the #1 seed.
Game and first set, Edberg.
And there it is. A set that started with the American absolutely dominant. It didn't seem that Edberg had a prayer. He was being outplayed and outgunned. But he held firm, and the old head on young shoulders won true. First set to Edberg, 6-4.
Love 15.
And if Agassi was going to run round his forehand before, he's going to do it more and more now.
Yes,
Around his backhand.
correct. But Edberg, you must give him credit. He hasn't really changed his game at all. And he didn't get rushed into it. He didn't panic. He just kept playing. And Agassi started making the mistakes. And now he really is mad.
Love 30.
Because it means a lot to him. It's only an invitation tournament. $50,000 for the winner. But that's chicken feed as far as Agassi is concerned. He's won $1 million in the last year.
15-30.
But he's been bereft of titles in the last 6 months, and he wants this one.
That serve wide, I don't know what you can do about it. I think the only thing you can do is to stand in a little bit earlier and catch it before it gets you so far wide. But there, Agassi got Edberg right into the stand. Edberg there missed his favourite backhand down the line. Agassi there again started to dominate the rally.
That forehand, which is one of the most famous shots in the game, just letting him down. Doesn't seem to have quite the power that we saw earlier in the week.
I think Edberg's been very clever. Again, he's floating the ball, giving Agassi no pace to generate from. You would think, looking at it, the clay court player's Edberg, which of course is not the case. The error is coming from Agassi now, and he's playing so quickly. He's rushing around, trying to rush Edberg, but Edberg, one of the slowest, meticulous players around, is not going to be rushed.
Break point.
Oh, what an amazing shot, Simon. Dear me. He bluffed his way in on a second serve there that was so poor, it was incredible. Edberg powders it down the line, but look at this. Incredible forehand volley. Oh.
And he hasn't stopped showboating.
And you see another incredible shot here, this topspin volley. Watch this. Woof. Look at that topspin. Two of the greatest volleys you can ever see there.
And Agassi back on course. Looks as if he might be rolling out of this game, but far from it. Trails by a set, but leads Stefan Edberg 1-love in the second set.
Very good point from Edberg there. Classical clay court rally. Super patience. Waited for the short one and then really attacked it into the double-handed side of Agassi. His patience has got better and better throughout the whole week.
Game, Edberg.
Edberg holds his serve without too many problems. He hasn't dropped it since he served for the first time. So one game apiece.
Oh. But Edberg shows his displeasure there. He made the point really, forced Agassi to come in and had an easy passing forehand, but didn't go for it. Just watch how far Edberg's going to have to run wide for this ball, this big kicker. Right out the doubles court.
That's the most powerful forehand he's hit all afternoon. Really cracks this. And from then on, there was nowhere for Edberg.
That's the one. He gets the chance on the forehand. He's got to attack it as he did there. Super shot. Short ball from Agassi. Topspin forehand. It's not his favourite shot, but he made it on that occasion.
range error. Just a couple of them in this game. Fine play from Agassi. Edberg making his intentions known early on. Agassi looks back on level key now. Leads by 2-1 in the second set, but trails by a set to Stefan Edberg. Pretty close.
15.
Edberg's not at all sure. Agassi seemed totally confident.
That's the sort of thing the players get upset about, not just with Agassi, but any player that influences a linesman as Agassi did there. Not meaningful, but he just said out, and the umpire calls confirmed it.
30.
Agassi looks up at his coach, Bollettieri, just to confirm that he did the right thing. I think it was worth a crack.
Bollettieri, I'm sure, is willing Agassi on to make sure he tries to forget about that wrist injury. Seems to have done. He seems to be hitting his backhand again, as we see there.
He really does fire it.
30-40.
I think he hits it even harder than the forehand, but as you say, it's more difficult to read, but he cracks it.
Tremendous shot again. Break point.
Game.
So there's the break for Agassi. But will he let Edberg off the hook as he did in the first set?
3-1. Agassi leads second set.
I'm not sure that the injury was that influential. I suspect a lot of it was in Agassi's head. And he started to go for the fancy shots, and he couldn't afford to do it. He leads 3-1. Had it all set up there. He ran it just right, didn't he?
Played it very well indeed. Just too casual on the forehand volley. All he had to do was get it over the net. Agassi was stranded in the forehand corner. Just too casual from Edberg there, and he's shaking his head. Big point. He needs to get a break back straight away if he can.
No sort of shot.
15-0.
See that lovely slice backhand there. Back to the forehand, wrong footing Agassi, and an easy put away.
And then Edberg is missing where he was hitting. He started to doubt himself.
Edberg taking his time, and he puts his hand up just to slow Agassi down. He really likes to rush you. He wants you to play at his pace.
47.
And Edberg's beginning to blow cold now after blowing so hot at the end of the first set. Game littered with mistakes, and now it's Agassi who's in the ascendancy. He leads 4 games to 1 in the second set, trails Edberg by 1 set. Talk of that. Been a great success. Edberg serving 4-1.
Yes, Edberg there really paying the penalty for a very sloppy volley. Didn't put it away, and he's shaking his head, quite rightly so. He comes in on the easy ball, could have put this anywhere, and he pushes it back down the middle. And Agassi isn't going to miss shots like that. Not punishing his volleys as he did yesterday against Clerk. More tentative on them.
Terrific talent from both players. It's wonderful to watch when they're playing like this.
What a get that was. Then the half volley. Agassi nearly tries to get it, then just gives it up at the end. Important game for Edberg. He was 4-1 down the first set. Shot.
It was a shocker from Agassi.
And I think if you can stay in close with Agassi, he tends to start to play some loose, flashy shots as we see here. And I think Edberg knows that, so he's going to stay with him and just hope he plays a game of loose shots. Marvellous backhand topspin lob from Edberg.
But the whole rally was fantastic. Pinned right in the corner.
There's super length here from Agassi, but look at that topspin lob. Just rolled the wrist over it. It's one of the tougher shots in the game, but Edberg made that look very easy.
And Edberg stretching there. But he's moving so well, you can't feel that there's anything that's a severe problem.
So I think his groin is as bad as Agassi's wrist.
I think that's right. Oof. But he is clutching the top of his left leg again, Edberg.
Agassi's starting to pass well again.
And now a chance for Agassi to go 5-1 up. Break point. So there it is. 2 breaks now to Agassi. And here's the point where Edberg just brought himself up short, pressure on the left thigh, and as he went back, you can see just holding it. He's conscious of it. I don't think it's more than an irritation.
Yes, this is their first clay court tournament, and you have to slip and slide into the ball on clay, and the groin is one area you can get a strain on your first week on clay.
Agassi serving for the set now, and Edberg's play has deteriorated rapidly, for whatever reason. And he looks a little lame again there, and he's shaking his head as if to say, There is a problem here. Maybe we have underestimated it. But suddenly Agassi's all over him.
He's now conscious that he's not going to get into long rallies, so he's attacking early, and he picked the right way.
This slice, Agassi got on that. And now 2 set points for Andre Agassi to level it up at 1 set apiece. And there it is. After an hour and 10 minutes, Agassi back on level terms. The first set to Edberg, 6-4. The second to Agassi, 6 games to 1.
Edberg needs to win this first service game to get back on the scorecard. Serve. And I'm sure if his leg is sore, and Edberg's not one to fake injury, he's going to have to come in a little more. He doesn't want to be stretched from the baseline. Here we see that serve again, because Agassi can really stretch you with the angles, the slice, the topspin, and if you've got a sore groin, you don't want to be at the baseline too long.
30 30-15.
What a serve.
40-15.
Tremendous kick there. He gets the angle with the spin rather than the position that he serves, where Agassi uses the angle to get the kicker out wide.
Just out.
40-30.
Again, fine rally from Agassi.
This is a super backhand down the line here, under enormous pressure. Made it that time. Oof.
So Edberg takes the early lead in the third set, but it's 1 set apiece in the final of the Audi tournament. You're watching Eurosport. That's the position. Edberg 1-love up in this deciding set against Andre Agassi. Edberg taking a leaf out of Agassi's book. Top spin volley, look at this.
15. Love 30. Love 40.
Good play there from Edberg. That's that backhand again. He glides into the net on it. Superb backhand slice.
3 break points. Some shots.
tremendous play the way he serves an angle. I don't know what you can do. It's very hard to attack it down the line because you're so wide. Just watch how wide Edberg is, and you're going to get a defensive shot, and you know Agassi's going to come in and wallop a forehand.
Edberg wanted to attack there.
Poor error.
Great point down. And he produces a shot like that. There's no order to this man's play at all.
Yes, he played the point well, didn't he, Agassi there? Waited and waited until the short ball, and then he really approached that forehand, and that's his favourite shot. Back to Juice.
Phenomenal play from Agassi.
Edberg was a little unsure of this call. Yes, I was on the line though. Tremendous play.
Play from Agassi. To come back 3 break points down and to play a game like that. He says the game's not mental, it's all physical. It certainly looked pretty physical there.
Yeah, Edberg here made a big mistake though. Love thought he played too cautiously and let Agassi dominate the rallies, and when Agassi's dominating rallies, he's not going to lose them. Edberg there on one of the 3 points. If he'd have come to the net, he's got a 1 in 3 chance he's going to win a point, but he didn't come in, and Agassi attacked. I think a big tactical error there from Edberg. Away. Sure, he realises now that what he should have done in the last game, but that's a classical serve and volley point.
Curve just inside the line. Good shot at that. Started outside, just drifted in.
Terrific shot.
Very often see shots like that from Edberg. So much time. And
yes, he played the hard shot there. He played it back to Agassi because Agassi was starting off to the backhand side, but I don't think he needed to do it. He could have hit it to the backhand side and still won the point.
another spectacular pass. And you can begin to understand why now this man has so many plaudits, particularly in North America, saying He is the future of the game. 2 break points.
34.
Snapped at it.
Yes, he's blaming his wrist there, but I think that was more to do with a big serve, and he just winces on it, but I think that was really the serve that did that. The backhand down the line earlier, he didn't wince.
Jury.
And Agassi had a look across at his coach again there, Bollettieri, and looked pained. Whether he was in pain or just in disgust at the shot, it's difficult to read.
Agassi.
And against Clerk, Edberg wasn't missing shots like that.
No, I think he perhaps feels he's got to do a slightly better volley because of Agassi's quite superb ground shots and passing shots.
Break point. And there it is. That's the break he wanted.
Game, Agassi.
And Agassi now beginning to break Stefan Edberg's serve at will and leads 2 games to 1 in this third.
Love 15.
Yes, I bet Edberg wished he'd come in on one of those love 40 points. Terrific volley.
50 all.
Yes, he's getting increasingly unhappy.
Making more and more errors now. Tremendous play. Great touch on the slice drop shot there. Gets him out wide with the kick serve. And now look at his racket head here. Around and across the ball. Tremendous stop shot.
40-30.
It's ridiculous.
The shot before was, but it came off, so you don't know what he's going to do.
That's true. Put money on that.
Jury.
It was a dying need to put away the extravagant smash rather than just hit it into the corner.
Yeah, it was a good lob though. It was coming straight down on Agassi's head. He maybe should have let it bounce.
An amazing tap. And sometimes you get the feeling he has more talent than he knows what to do with. And then there are other times like that.
The racket head coming right under the ball to impart the backspin. Yes, great shot.
Game, Agassi.
So Agassi moves 3-1 up in the third set.
3 games to 1. Agassi leads final set.
lost just 2 of the last 11 games. Edberg's losing concentration.
Last
Same thing's happening as the beginning of the match. He's been pushed all over the court. He's either got to slow it up deep or he's got to attack. At the moment he's in the middle there and Agassi's running him ragged.
In, stays in. He hardly needs it at the moment. Fashion show off.
30.
But he's got plenty to show off.
He's made a lot of those drop shots, and there, again, that very high lob from Edberg wasn't put away by Agassi, and he got back in the rally. Edberg knows how important this game is. Double breakdown, he has no chance.
$15.40.
So much going through his mind. The injury, Agassi, and elementary mistakes occurring. He's really being punished now, Edberg. Agassi has the second break, and he leads 4-1 in this deciding set. You're watching Eurosport, and Andre Agassi putting in a quite breathtaking performance. 4-1 up in the final of the Audi tournament against the Wimbledon champion, Stefan Edberg. But Agassi hasn't got much to beat at the moment. The will's gone out of Edberg, whether it's the injury or just dissatisfaction with his play. Moved well enough to that. I think he's better moving towards the right than he is to the left.
Yes, he comes in well here, jumps up for it. I think he's not going to forget that love 40 game. Would have been 2 love, would have made an enormous difference.
15-30.
Edberg being run all over the court. shot.
Wonderful looping topspin forehand. And it sets up what may be Edberg's last chance. Break point. There it is.
Game Edberg. 4 games to 2. Agassi leads.
Still a breakdown, but just a glimmer of hope now.
Last 15.
Again, Agassi punishing the serve. We're in the first 3 rounds. Edberg managed to get the serve away from the returner, but at the moment, Agassi really reading it well.
Good shot. Was put off with Agassi racing towards the net.
$15-30.
So
30 all.
Edberg there just showing us that he hadn't been getting that wrist over to get the kick away. You can see him afterwards just clapping himself. He really needs to get the wrist action going to get the ball kicking away to the double-handed backhand. As soon as the ball drops at all short, I guess he seizes it and just wallops that forehand. Here we go again, look at this. Whack, right into the corner, giving Edberg no chance.
Break point. The last 6 Edberg service games, Agassi's won 5. That very rarely happens, and that's why he's in the winning position. 5-2 he leads. Just a game away probably now, serving when he comes out for the Audi tournament. How good do you think he can be, David?
Well, I mean, he's already number 4, he was number 3. I mean, that is incredible for a 19-year-old. He favours the slower courts, the clay courts or the cement courts, and says this year as well that he's not going to be playing Wimbledon. But I think he can take his time on that. He proves that he can serve hard. I think his weakness, if he's going to win on grass, is the volley, because he tends to only hit topspin volleys. Well, if you can keep doing those all day, well then, too good. But it's a very, very tough shot. He can be the #1 on clay, and perhaps to learn like Borg did to play on the grass court.
What he needs perhaps in the next couple of years is to learn how to compete and to not play the frilliest shots that he does when he gets in front.
I think he's going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn that, because if you're going to beat the Lendls and the Villanders on clay courts, then you can't do that. So I think he'll learn that.
But it certainly has been some exhibition. Lendl a little lame perhaps, but he's been outgunned here. Agassi serving for the match, for the Audi tournament. Edberg showing he's got a few tricks of his own as well.
Marvellous drop volley. Watch his racket head there. Stopping the ball dead and spin it back into the net.
50-0.
And then an elementary error.
Oh! 30-15.
So here we are. An hour and 41 minutes we've been going. 2 match points, 2 championship points for Andre Agassi.
One save. Brave attack to the net from Edberg.
40-30.
Edberg taking everything from this point. Look at that, on the line. I'm sure you'll see the same. If he misses his first serve, Edberg's going to be up to the net.
Terrific stuff. The gap was too inviting, especially when you've got a backhand like Edberg's.
The forehand again, you can't pick it. No idea where that ball's going to be hit. He can hit it to the forehand, short, to the backhand, anywhere he wishes.
Third match point. Edberg won't be denied. Fantastic shot.
What an angle he got there from that drop shot.
Yes. And this game's provided us with some of the best tennis we've seen throughout the tournament. Edberg being brave. Wonderful looper there from Agassi. So 3 times he's been denied. Can he do it on the 4th? Again, he tries to finish it in the grand manner. And again, Edberg equal to him.
Shouldn't have missed the forehand there, though. And an open court down the line. Just wide.
Agassi.
So, match point number 5. Here it is. Edberg, stylish in defeat. And Agassi smiles to the crowd, who means so much to him. And he's meant a lot to them this afternoon. A really wonderful player, extravagantly talented.
2 sets to 1, 4-6.
And he beats Stefan Edberg 4-6, 6-1, 6-2 to win the Audi tournament. And here he is, the crowd's favourite, who's proved so much to himself, I'm sure, this afternoon. His first tournament victory. Doesn't have any ranking points, but it means a lot for him to beat a player of Stefan Edberg's calibre. A cheque for $50,000. That won't mean too much for a man who's made $1 million in the last year. But the prestige will, and the delight, and the manner in which he won when he looked under pressure after he dropped the first set.
Well done, Andre. A tremendous result. How bad was your hand?
Well, when I fell down at, I don't know, 4-2 in the first set, I think I landed on it, which jammed it a little bit. And I had trouble hitting topspin backhands, you know, so it got a little better as the match went on, but hopefully it won't be too serious.
Were you aware that Stefan had a slightly pulled groin muscle? Was that why you were running around so much?
No, I wasn't aware of that. I just had fun running him around, that's all. No, I don't know. I had no idea about a pulled groin. You know, that's usually my strategy, make somebody work as hard as possible.
And where do you go to next week? Do you go to Rome next week?
Rome, Italy. I leave tonight.
And then to Paris after that?
Yes, Paris.
And what about Wimbledon? Because we're from England, and obviously we want to see you very badly at Wimbledon. When are you going to make the Wimbledon trip?
It might be this year. I'm going to wait till after the French and see how I'm feeling, and if I'm feeling strong physically and mentally, I'll pop on over there if they decide to give me a wild card. But other than that, maybe next year.
I'm sure we'll give you a wild card. Thanks very much indeed, and I'm sure the crowd will have had a great time watching you. Well done, Andre.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Agassi at Wimbledon, an intriguing prospect. The men's doubles final was also played today. The winners, the South American pair.